Alright guys, welcome back to another interview on MMAUnhinged. Today I'm joined by Cage Warriors Flyweight champion Sam Creasey. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Absolute pleasure to join by you. We were talking before we went on air. The first ever flyweight to defend the belt. How does that feel?
It's a great feeling. That's a little bit of history for me. I can always keep, and it's great to be back in the win column.
Exactly. It was quite a short night at the office. So was it 1 minute and 24 seconds or something like that? In round number one, you hit him with that check right hook. Got the high on guillotine. Was it quicker than you expected coming? I know you talked about 5 rounds, but did you expect him to clip him that early?
Um, I expected maybe to land some shots. I didn't expect that to be the scenario that played out. I was prepared for 5 hard rounds. That's what we've been doing in the gym for the past however many weeks, and I didn't expect to get that finish that early. But it just shows the level that I'm at. I'm underestimating my own ability sometimes, and I do have it within me to put anybody away very quickly.
Exactly, and that's what you did. You put him away very quick, and you lashed up that neck. Obviously, we talked about it before. You talked about if I grab anyone's neck, it's pretty much game over.
Yeah, pretty much. And the issue for him is we were so early in the fight. There's no sweat built up there at all. So when I got his neck, it was almost like, oh, it's game over. I know I'm
Yeah.
either gonna, he's either gonna tap, go to sleep, or he's gonna have to give up a really bad position. And thankfully for me, he tapped nice and early.
Heading into that fight, I know you had the cancellation of your last fight, but what did you know about Stipe coming to this fight? What was you expecting for him to come to give you?
Toughness. He comes out of a great gym in Germany. I think it's the number one gym there, really. They've got a lot of UFC, a lot of world class fighters there. Um, I know that he's just recently come back from America, a 6-8 week training camp out there, and he's ranked number one at bantamweight and flyweight. So he was not going to be a slouch. I expected 5 hard rounds, and fate has it that I was able to get the victory nice and early.
Yeah, and it was the step in right hook that started all the whole thing. Was that something that you looked in at camp that you saw maybe your opponent being liable to? Just not don't know, like.
Yeah, not necessarily to do with the opponent specifically. I find a lot of guys I can land that shot on pretty much because they expect with the switch I'm going to kick them instead, or I kind of felt like he was waiting for me to throw a jab or to lead with something a little softer. And as I switched, I just see his lead hand just come down a little bit, and the right hook's there. So that's money every day of the week.
It was a game of inches, and that right hook landed swiftly right on the chin. And obviously, after that, you latched up that guillotine, submitted him. What was the immediate emotions after you got that finish in round one?
Um, it was a little surreal, to be honest. You never expect a victory to go quite that well. I've had good wins before, but never had zero damage upon myself at all. No shots landed, and then my first shot pretty much signals the end. So there was that kind of moment where, oh, have I actually done that? Oh, okay. And then immediately I've just turned to him. I've looked at him, and all of those thoughts have kind of gone out the window. And I'm in his shoes now, and I can feel his pain. I can feel his emotions right now, and um, I kind of looked at him and just like tried to, I don't know, to signal this connection that I know how you feel right now. Okay, I've been there. I know how you feel right now, and like when I could see that, obviously he's very emotional. He's not going to jump up and lose his shit or whatever. I come over and just embraced and just pretty much just told him the same thing, just in his ear, and that just, you know, I've been there. I expect you to come back from this, no problem, and I understand where you are.
Yeah, you talked about having big wins in your career, and you've had some fantastic wins. But where does this one rank? You know, defending the Cage Warriors belt, being the first one to to defend it. Where does this one rank?
Yeah, I think this is my best victory to date. To be quite honest, um, as much as the win and the manner with which I won, it was also the pressure that is on me before this, and there was a lot of pressure coming into this fight, coming off of a loss, being out of competition for a long time, a lot of people questioning my legacy as the champion, and that's a lot of pressure that is, you know, sometimes from myself just as much as all the external stuff as well. So I feel that was my finest victory today.
And it seemed like you dealt with that pressure in your best performance to date.
Yeah, I believe so. I think I was very calm, very composed in there. Uh, Normally, or on occasion, I've been trying to rush things almost, trying to get to a point where, okay, we're fighting now, as opposed to kind of like seeing what's in front of me. And this was, yeah, like very surreal, even in the movement on the feet initially. Like nothing really happened from the outside if you're watching the fight, but for me, it's just okay. He's in the orthodox. Okay, he's switching to the southpaw. He's going for a low kick. I'm out of range. He's missing. He can't get my timing yet. This is something that very rarely happens. You know, it's quite chaotic normally.
Yeah, the way you said it, you sound so calm. It's honestly, it's surreal to me to hear that. You sound so calm, and it seems like you remember everything that happened that night. Obviously, some fighters say it was a complete blur, because
Yeah.
obviously you're in the moment. So it seems like you remember every single touch of that fight.
Yeah, I really do on this one. It might help that it was so short, obviously, but I can remember even just a little feint. So just lift my right knee, just give him the threat of maybe a rear hand coming or a low kick coming, and then when I could feel him almost waiting for the jab, that's when the switch came, and I'm sure I was looking directly into his eyes as I was throwing the hook, and then you know it's over before you know it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic shot. You got on the mic afterwards and you said, surely this performance deserves a UFC shot. I mean, I don't know how they can not deny you after a fantastic performance after that.
Yeah, I don't think I could do anything as a better performance than that to get noticed by the UFC. To be quite honest, you know, I couldn't have asked for a better performance if I'd have tried. Um, I've, I've I've been fighting for a long time. I'm ready. I've been ready for a long time. I think that should get me my shot in there now.
Yeah, I was gonna say why, obviously why now, but you said that you feel like you've been ready and ready for a long time. You're experienced. You've been around in the cage wars. You've been in cage wars for such a long time. I remember. I
Mm.
think the first few fights I saw was obviously the first title fight against Nathan Grayson, and also I've seen you progress from strength to strength after that.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming. I mean, when I look back at it now, at the time when I fought Grayson, I thought, you know, I was the complete fighter, but I've improved so much. I've evolved so much since then, and not only just in my skill set and the way I perform in the cage, but everything outside the cage as well. I understand the whole art of MMA far more. I understand the whole process of weight cutting more. I understand how to structure a training camp better. There's so many things that you think you know everything as you're coming up, but you really don't. I'm so fresh, or I was so fresh back then anyway.
Go back to the fighting talk. Obviously, you talked about no injuries, so that puts you right in a position to maybe get jump back in there, and maybe get another fight quickly soon. I know you're out the cage for a very long time, so there is
Mhm.
probably a possibility you want to get one, back to back real quick.
Absolutely. I can't. There's nothing wrong with me at the minute. I, I didn't get hit at all in the fight, so you know I'm ready to go again straight away. Anything last minute comes along for the UFC, or if not, then another title defense.
Yeah, it would be fantastic to obviously get another title defense. Obviously, you got the Contender series as well. I don't know whether they're fully packed, but that's definitely an avenue that the UFC could, or the avenue or the Cage Warriors could send you now. No, I mean the Cage Warriors is literally a feeder league into the UFC.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that with the title around my waist and that last victory to really put a stamp on it, that they got to be looking in my direction now.
100% agree. Look at the flyweights that came out Cage Wars and going into the UFC. You know, Jake Hadley, a few off the top of my head, but they've slipped. But with Jake Hadley's gone into the UFC, he's had a little bit of success. But you know, it definitely when you have that Cage Warriors belt, it kind of shines out to the UFC that obviously you're a contender outside the UFC.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. And I've trained with Jake a lot. I've trained with a couple of the other UFC flyweights quite a bit as well. And I know, I'm good enough to be there. That's where I should be right now.
Absolutely. Going back to the fight against Stipe, I want a little bit of the overall assessment of your performance. I know there was only 1 minute or something that we can really talk about, but how did you feel kind of in there? And now we're reflecting on it. How you feel in that performance?
Yeah, I feel really good about it. I can't really say I'm not. I am usually very critical of my performances. I like to break everything down and see everything that I have made mistakes on because I want to improve. With a victory like that, it's almost impossible for me to do so. I did everything we practiced, and I did it better than I could even imagine. But I feel one of the main parts was just being so calm and composed beforehand, not trying to almost get myself G'd up, get myself, ready to have a fight. I don't need to do that. I'm already good enough to have a fight any day of the week. I just need to stay calm, composed, and let my skills do the talking.
Yeah, and obviously coming the back off a tough loss to Luke Shantz. What was the mentality and the feeling during camp, and obviously walking towards the fight? Obviously, a lot of fighters when they come off losses, it kind of brings them down, but obviously, it kind of turns you into a different level.
Yeah, I mean there's always times where you get doubt during a training camp, I guess, and probably the closer you get to a fight as your testosterone is beat up from so much hard training and that, you're going to have moments where your brain is playing tricks on you. And I've had that many times before a fight, and I just need to take a minute and kind of remember, you know, just have a look at your record. Just have a look at your record. See if you fought, see how long you've been doing this for, and you're at a good level. You don't need to play this game.
And then obviously, my last few questions. You have a lot of quotes. I see them on your Facebook. I see them on your Instagram. Where'd you kind of get them from? Where is it? The inspiration?
Uh, that's hard to say, I guess. Everyday life, probably for me. I find I've said it before a few times. I'm always trying to be a better human being. Um, trying to be a good person. Trying to improve myself all the time. And I fail. I fail daily. I fail daily when I find perhaps a situation arises and I may judge somebody when I shouldn't be doing that, and I have to check myself on that and try to get past that point to become a better human being, to be, I don't know, you know, to just, to bring good to people's lives, to bring good to others, to look after people, to help people without, the necessity to get something in return.
Yeah, and I think one of the most important quotes was after you won the fight, you put a picture of you and Stipe, and it quoted, "Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are." I think that one should really obviously touch people.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I try to tell people now your character is is so important. It's your attitude to every situation, to every moment where you react negatively. It's a moment for growth. It's a moment where you can pause and say, you know, am I better than this? Can I turn this into a positive, or am I going to react like, you know, I'm supposed to react, like everybody else is going to react, and we're going to show somebody a better example. You know, what can I do to show people a good example?
Truly inspirational, honestly, Sam. And then my last question. I've always wondered, how long does it take to plait your hair?
So my wife's got it down to about 2 hours now.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and she enjoys every second I'm crying for
Did you go with different designs, or did you just keep with the same plaits?
We did have a different design for plaits before, but I felt like this coming all together into the middle was a kind of a better option. Kind of sits better with the bun on top of my head.
Yeah. I mean, 2 hours, that's a long time to plait hair. I mean, I've not had any experience plaiting hair, but that would be a long time.
Yeah, her hands are cramping afterwards.
I mean, fantastic, Sam. It's been an absolute pleasure. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the title defense, becoming the first person to ever defend that flyweight championship, and obviously cementing yourself out there as one of the best flyweights outside the UFC. It's incredible to see, you know, obviously shine where you've came from, the losses, and now look where you are defending the belt. It's incredible.
Thank you very much, mate.